Welcome back, everybody. It is Dex and Shannon. We are talking Better Call Saul. You're sitting at home watching the episode, and your wife, husband, friend is like, that would never happen. That's not the way real life happens. Well, we do this segment called Lawyered Up with a real lawyer. His name is Matt O'Neill from Whitener Law. Welcome back.
All the questions answers.
Thank you
for
inviting me. Yeah, it's. I love this segment because we break it down, we give you some clips, and you get to tell us what's real and what reality is when it comes to this TV show we all love. So
yeah,
you
so
ready
what do
to
we
break
got?
it down?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Break
show
it
clip
down.
number 1.
What did you do with it?
By it, you mean...
Where is it?
Oh, you mean the money. Let me see. It's on its way to the DA's desk right about now.
What? You thief.
Takes one to know one, doesn't it?
You took it? How did you take it?
A good magician never reveals his secrets. Now, here's what we're gonna do.
Oh, you don't tell us what to do. You stole from us. We will have you arrested.
I can see how upset you are, and even on a good day, you and logic are... But think about what you just said. Criminals have no recourse, and you two, you're criminals, big time.
How far out of reality is Betsy there, thinking that Jimmy could get arrested? Because he could potentially get in trouble for what he did. I mean, he took the money.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's just threatening. She
Yeah.
clearly hasn't thought it through. Jimmy's clearly got the upper hand. He knows that the second she rats on him, he's going to be forced to rat on her, in which
Yeah.
case they're both going to jail.
But she already looks so guilty, so he really wouldn't have gotten in trouble, I don't think. That's my thought.
I think accepting money, one, being allowing yourself to be bribed as a witness and accepting money that you know is stolen. Yeah, I think he'd probably lose his license at the very least. He'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know what she's thinking. I do think of Shannon when I see that scene with Betsy, though. I don't
Why?
know what
Because
it
me
is.
and Logic are like, whoa!
All right, let's play clip number 2.
If the prosecution decides to file, which is definitely the direction this seems to be headed, and if they choose to stack charges, Craig, you're looking at 30 years in prison.
30 years?
That's the maximum. And given the nature of the charge and the current political environment, I'd say we should expect it. The public outcry in cases like these is a big factor. However, after much discussion with the DA, who is also invested in keeping the press to a minimum, we have arrived at an arrangement, which would include 16 months in a county facility.
16 months.
Down from 30 years. And you most likely wouldn't serve all of it.
But he would have to say he was guilty.
Admitting wrongdoing and making the county whole again goes a long way here, hence the minimal sentence.
Making the county whole again?
It includes the stipulation that you return $1.6 million in misappropriated funds.
Give back the money.
But there is no money.
There's no money.
We told you Craig is innocent.
On one hand, you give up the money.
I just told you there is no money.
Plead guilty. It's painful, I know. And go to jail for 1.5 years. But your other choice, that is no choice at all. If you go to trial, you'll most likely lose. And Craig goes to prison for decades.
Oh my gosh, there are so many questions that I want to ask you, but I'll ask you just one.
Okay.
How good of a deal did Kim get the Kettlemans?
That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 years to 16 months, and to be honest, she says you'll probably do less of it, and that's probably true because it's a non-violent offense. He should get good time. If he gets good time, he might serve just 50%. So he might only serve 8 months, less than a year. Yeah. Maybe a little longer, but my goodness.
Okay.
Compared to 30 years, I'd think you should snatch that up.
I almost think Betsy wants her husband to go to prison just so she can
doesn't.
take the
She
money.
loves him so much.
Really?
Yes, she does.
She's gambling
She's a
with his
loyal
life.
wife. You don't know. But we need to go into Lightning Lawyer.
Okay,
Dun, dun,
all right,
dun,
let's
dun,
do
dun,
it.
dun.
It's time for the a lawyer lightning round. Lightning lawyer, is that what it's called?
Stop. Just ask questions. Come on.
We'll go then.
All right.
You got
Want me to go
question?
first?
Go, yes.
Okay, do lawyers really pay for, or law school lawyers, do lawyers really pay for someone to go to law school?
Okay, I've never heard of that. I suppose it does happen. I'm sure there's some excellent students out there and some big firms that pay people to go to school and then to work for them because they see the potential. So I'm sure some big firms do that. I've never actually seen an example of it or known of one personally.
Is New Mexico an extradition state.
All
Did I say that
states,
right?
all states have extradition agreements with other states, and so most states will extradite, but only for very, very serious offenses. I remember the scene they're talking about extraditing them for,
Right.
you know, I was not really clear what, but I don't think they would come and extradite him. That's
Yeah.
usually a big expense for a state.
Do you think you could have got a better deal if you were in that position?
That is such a good question. Best question ever.
Well, I don't do criminal, so I probably wouldn't have had the connections to do the criminal part of it.
If you were there though in that time and you were doing criminal,
Sure, I could have
Yes.
gotten that.
oh yeah.
Thank
Pro.
you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thanks for joining us again for another round of lawyering up.
Lightning lawyer.
Lightning lawyer. All right, coming up, we're going to wrap up the show. We are talking Better Call Saul. Hang out with us.